I had been trying to teach myself little bits of HTML, CSS, like starting really simple.
I applied to a bunch of different programs, hoping for scholarships, but this was all done complete and totally like with self-study and just the resources I could find online.
I looked into several different boot camps to see where might be the best fit and ultimately landed on Hackbright.
It's always scary to put your knowledge to the test, I think, especially with someone you don't know. But at the same time, if I had failed on the first try, I think it would have just been a learning opportunity for me to be like, okay, I'm not ready yet, or there are things that I need to learn further.
I actually did the technical interview twice. I had applied to one cohort, not made it. I had not done enough studying, and then applied again. And so the second time when I went through the technical interview, which all the instructors were so ready to work with me, ready to tell me where I needed to study more, and they were ready to give me as many technical interviews as I needed.
I was very nervous about the technical interview. I remember studying over and over again and not knowing what to study. And then once the technical interview started, I realized it was more of a conversation and it wasn't so bad. And I learned a lot from it actually. Like it was more of it felt like a teaching experience to have that interview, more so than like someone judging me.
I think it was a coding challenge. I don't think I was doing it in person, but they asked you to talk through it in person later. And I remember looking at it and just not remember doing it at all because it had been so long at that point already. And I was like, well, I can tell you what this is doing.
They're on your team, I think it's hard to remember when you're really nervous and aren't 100% confident in what you're doing, but I think really focusing on what you do know, what you can bring to the table, and sort of using that to your advantage.
It's definitely a nerve-wracking choice to make, a life choice to make, and so the more supported you feel, the more comfortable you feel with the environment that you're going into, the easier it is to make that choice.
I applied to do a prep course in San Francisco, just kind of on a whim in December, and I got accepted, and they told me that I start in January. And I was still like working full-time and living in New Mexico. So at that point I was like, oh, okay, like now's the time. I have to make all of this happen really quickly.
The people here were with me every step of the way. So if at some point I wanted to turn around and say, you know what, I decided this isn't for me, they would have supported me and they would have understood and given me, whatever help they could have.
And there's really no tricks. They're not trying to hide anything up their sleeve or make you fail. They want to see you succeed.